guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my tattoos and piercings, and I'm just going to be talking about them and pain levels and etc. So I guess I will just start off with my piercings. I got my earlobes pierced when I was in the 3rd grade. I got them done at Claire's with the gun. I almost went home with one earring just because after they did the first one, I almost threw up for some reason. It's like all my adrenaline started rushing. And I think it was because I watched a girl previously get her ear pierced and she freaked out. So I think that just kind of scared me a little bit. But after I got them done, I love them and I always put earrings in. And yeah, the next piercing that I got was actually my belly button. I got it done after I graduated high school and I was 18. It was kind of like my first piercing that I could get by myself because I was 18, and I've never changed this piece of jewelry and I've had it forever. I love opal and I just think it's so pretty. And pain level, it was kind of just like a fast little sting. It didn't really hurt that bad. I do kind of have a high pain tolerance, so that probably helps that pain. But yeah, I do love this piercing. The next piercing that I got by myself, I got my septum. If you haven't seen my previous videos, you'll see that I have my septum in. I recently took my septum out just because I'm kind of over it and I want to get more nostril piercings, so I just thought it would be too crowded and I took out my septum. But I did have it. Pain-wise, it did hurt, but it wasn't like I cried or anything. It was just a weird feeling because they're in your nose. The healing process was kind of gross. To be honest, I would always hit it on stuff. Hooping one time and it got caught on my hula hoop and it started bleeding. It also would start bleeding if I would kiss my boyfriend sometimes. But other than that, the healing was probably lasted for about 2 months. But I did love it for the time that I did have it. I got it done, when I was 19, or no. I got it done when I was 20 and I'm almost 23. So I only had it for a few years, but I don't know. It was just kind of a phase that I went through, and the job that I had wouldn't allow me to have any piercings. So it was kind of like a piercing that I could hide. Really wanted my nostril done at the time, but since my job wouldn't allow me to have it, that's why I got my septum. So there's that. The next one that I got was my tragus. This one did hurt, but again, for a split second. The healing was fine. I didn't have any problems with the healing. I do sleep on this side of my head though, so it would snag on my pillow a little bit. So I mean, it still looks good and I really love this piece. I am planning on getting it on the other side too eventually, but when I have the money. The next piercing that I got was my nose ring. It didn't hurt at all, 0 pain level, and the healing was fine. I started to get a little irritation bump, but it went away after a few days. But yeah, I barely even noticed this and I love it because with my septum I'd always be I know it's a really weird face, but I always be playing with it and I didn't like that, but this I don't even notice it. The last piercing that I have recently got is my cartilage piercing. It didn't really hurt getting it pierced, but the healing part does hurt. I remember the day after, it was so sore that it was just so painful. My girl pierced it with a needle, so it wasn't with a gun, because I've heard if you pierce it with a gun it can destroy the cartilage. So this has taken me about a month to heal, and it still kind of irritates me, and I think it's because I sleep on this side of my head. I do really love this piece and I am probably going to switch it out for a gold ring, but at the moment I really do love the daintiness of this ear. Well, moving on to my tattoos, they're a little bit more personal. I have always wanted tattoos, but I wanted to make sure it was something that I really wanted. So I took my time, looked through all of the tattoo ideas that I had. I got them done by a girl in my hometown. She is super sweet. I love her work. I found her through like an Instagram friend, and her rate was $120 an hour, which I think is pretty decent for tattoos. But let's just move on to what I got. So I guess we'll start with the first one that I got. I got them at the same time, but the first one that I did was the Ohm symbol. Basically, it means what it said, or what it's pronounced as. The Ohm sound is like meditation and yoga. It's like a sound of letting go and releasing bad energy, and just breathing and letting go of whatever's been weighing you down. And I just think that is such a good meaning to have. It's a constant reminder of like my personal struggles that I went through when I was a teenager in high school and a middle schooler. I went through a lot of personal stuff, and now that I'm in my 20s, I feel so much more confident in myself, and it just is a constant reminder that I got through this stuff, and I finally have let go of all of the bad energy that was weighing me down, that was basically keeping me from doing what I wanted to do. And I just think it's a beautiful piece to have on my wrist, and it has multiple meanings, which I think is cool because you can interpret it in your own way. So that's what I got. The pain wise was basically, it felt like scratches. At first it did kind of hurt, and I was super nervous because this was my first tattoo and I didn't know what to expect, so I was like kind of shaking, but after she started going, I was fine, and yeah. I just really love this piece. Moving on to the second piece that I got, which is on my left arm. It is this flower bundle. I got lavender and a daisy and a little dandelion, and the reason I got this was because I am more of a down-to-earth person. I love nature, and it just kind of represents life, how flowers grow and they wilt and then they reblossom. I just think it's a constant reminder that I'm growing and that I'm eventually gonna wilt too, and it's just life, it's a cycle, and I just think it's a beautiful piece. It's simple, and I love the more simple tattoos because it just looks so elegant. Pain-wise, the inner part of my arm didn't hurt as bad as like the outer part. The outer part just felt like she was just dragging like the needle across my skin. It felt like it was gonna bleed almost, but it didn't. I'd say the healing process is kind of gross and painful. Like taking showers, it kind of like stings really bad, but like after you get a tattoo, it just like is basically an open wound, and it's kind of weird experiencing that. But other than that, I really do love these tattoos. She did a great job, and I don't really care that they're gonna be on me for the rest of my life. They mean a lot to me, and I don't really care if you have any bad comments to say about them. They're just my tattoos. My parents aren't really for like tattoos and piercings, but they'll let me do what I want, and I appreciate that from them. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and go ahead and like this video if you did, and subscribe so you can see more content from me, and I will see you guys in my next video.